So many amazing horror movies have been forgotten, so I thought why not just give them a little extra attention today. So I have picked horror movies that I think are either underrated or unknown or not as popular as they should be. And these are not all masterpieces. I just think these are some horror movies that are really enjoyable, and I think not enough people know about them or have seen it. So our first movie today is gonna be As Above, So Below. This is a movie that is maybe not as unpopular but underappreciated or unknown. I would say, well, if you know about it or if you're a fan of found footage movies, then you have seen this probably or you've heard of it. But if you're not into found footage or you haven't seen many, then maybe this is a movie you've never heard of, and I think you should. So this movie is about a girl and she wants to continue her father's legacy by finding the Philosopher's Stone. So she and a couple friends get some French people, to help them explore the catacombs where she thinks she will find the Philosopher's Stone. When they get there, they get disturbed by many things of their past, things they have hidden or things they've done, and it's inspired by Dante's Inferno. And I think this is such a smart movie. It's so smart. Everything they have so much history in there and lore in there that I'm like, whoa. The person who made this movie did a lot of research when I watched it. And I think this is just one of those movies that are not stupid. So if you want something that has a little more meat on its bone, I would say this is a great one. And in general, it's just a very unique, very good found footage movie. This movie is very dear to me. It's one of my favorite found footage movies. Actually, my favorite found footage movie and one of my favorite horror movies. I think it's like number 2 or 3 on my favorite horror movies list. So I think this is really worth a watch. And I think if you like found footage, you'll like this for sure. For sure. It's very unique and very special. And this is just one of those movies that if you watch it, it's gonna stay with you forever. You'll never forget about it. I think it's one of those that's like either you don't like it, or if you like it, you will really love it and it will stay with you and be one of your favorites, because it's just that effort is really put into a movie. Even though it's a found footage movie, you would think it would be low effort, but it's obvious there's been a lot of effort put into this movie. So this is a great one. So the next movie I have is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. This is a mockumentary. So you follow a mockumentary crew and they follow this guy, Leslie Vernon, and he wants to become the next big serial killer. So he shows them how he trains for it, how he prepares like everything with his victims, and how he becomes the serial killer he wants to be. And they follow him, but they can't interfere, you know, just like in a nature documentary, they can't interfere and they just follow it. And it's such a fun movie. It is also it's a slasher, because he wants to be a serial killer, and it has other slasher things in there. And this is a very interesting. I didn't know it existed until a while ago when I first watched it, and I was very surprised. I think it was very funny but also very unsettling. And this is not a very gory movie, I would say. I think this movie is very underrated because I have not heard people talk about this, barely, and I've been in the horror community for a while, and even though it can be popular in some communities, in most horror communities, I never see anyone talk about this movie. I think if you like Scream or other meta stuff, you know, like they're self-aware and it's like a movie within a movie. I think if you like that kind of stuff, you will really like this. So for example, Scream, like I said, that's one of them. Maybe if the show Rick and Morty, I think if you like Rick and Morty, you also love this. If you like Supernatural, even the TV show, I think you'll like this as well. And if you just like a slasher movie, I think you'll like this as well. And yeah, this is one of those movies that should really go in your watch list. I highly recommend it. Now the next movie I have is The Blackening. This is a movie about a group of friends and they go to a cabin in the woods to celebrate Juneteenth. And when they get there, they find out they have to play this deadly game to survive. And it's a comedy movie as well. It's a dark comedy and it's a slasher movie. I think this movie is really funny. I haven't heard many people talk about it. I I was searching for something that was a horror but also a comedy when I found this movie, and I really liked it. I think everybody should watch it if they like comedy movies, and if you like horror movies, it's a perfect mix. And I don't think there are enough horror comedy movies, to be honest. And I think this one does it really well. It's really fun, it's really self-aware, it's witty, it's quick, and it also has good kills in there and great characters that you root for. I think you like this movie if you like Jordan Peele movies, obviously. I think Jordan Peele movies also have that comedy, and it focuses on like the Black American experience, but it also has jokes in there, and it's still dark. So add this one to your watch list if you want a horror movie that's not too dark but still dark enough and also has a lot of comedy in there. So this is a great one for that. The next movie I have is One Missed Call. This is a Japanese movie. You have an American version, One Missed Call. I have not seen it, so I can't say if it's as good as the Japanese one. The Japanese one is sometimes confusing. It can be a bit 2000s, cheesy 2000s as they say, but it's about people who get like a voicemail call, and the call tells them when they're gonna die, and then that comes true. So it's if you like movies like The Ring or The Grudge, if you like those type of movies, especially the Japanese versions, I think you'll really like this one. I don't think it's per se as strong as The Ring and The Grudge, but I think if you like that kind of movie, you'll really like this. Also, this movie was directed by Takashi Miike, and he also made Audition. So I think if you liked Audition and you like his style, then I think you'll also like this movie as well. So it does have its cheesy moments and confusing moments, but it's still a watchable, enjoyable movie that I think not many people have seen or heard about that should. So the next movie I have is Cry Wolf. So this movie is about a new kid that moves to a boarding school, and he gets inserted into a friend group, and they make up a fake serial killer as part of a game. But then real murders take place, and they are confused if it's real or if it's a game anymore. This is a very 2000s movie. It's also, it feels a bit cyber, even though there's not that many cyber elements into it that much. It's not like One Missed Call, but it still feels very cyber Y2K. I think you should watch this if you like a murder mystery or a movie with maybe some twists here and there. I'm not gonna say too much. And something with suspense and where you don't really know if something is real or really happening or if it's not real. If you like that kind of thriller vibe, this movie has that. So I think if you like that, you should add it to your watch list. It's a good 2000s movie. And the last movie I have is Sadako versus Kayako. It is The Grudge versus The Ring. This movie, I stumbled upon it a couple years ago by accident. I was trying to watch a movie, and then me and my fiance, we saw it and we were like, wait, let's watch it. So we watched it and we were very surprised. It's about some people who get cursed by The Grudge and The Ring, but the only way to survive either one of those is by pitting them against each other. Just like, you know, Freddy versus Jason. It's one of those crossover movies, one I have never actually heard anyone talk about ever. Maybe I've missed it, but I think this is a very underrated movie, and it's honestly really good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the original Grudge and I enjoyed the original Ring, both of them, and I really enjoyed this one too. I wasn't like, oh, this is not as good as the original ones. Maybe it's not the same star power the original two have, but it's still a very good, fun movie. And also, it's campy. It's very ridiculous because obviously you have the Grudge, you have the Ring, and you have to fight against each other. How is that gonna work? And I think this is just, if you like campy movies, if you like J-horror, I think you like the package of it all together, smooshed in there. And I've never seen any other J-horror campy movies before, except for this one. I would like to watch more, but I haven't watched any beside really this one. This is the most campy one I've seen. It's a bit ridiculous, but in a good way. So this one should be added to your watch list if you like The Grudge or The Ring. You like both of them. If you like a crossover movie like Freddy vs. Jason, you'd like this one as well. So this one is definitely one you should add. So these were my horror movies that I think are underrated or unknown. And if you have seen any of these movies, please let me know, because I want to know what you think of it. And if you have some more underrated movies, especially horror movies. And if you have some more hidden gems, let me know, because I love finding them and watching them and seeing what is hidden between so many movies. And yeah, thank you for watching. I really enjoyed doing this.